day 4. Chair yoga today. Grabbing whatever you need for your practice. So that means if you want to grab a ton of pillows, blankets, a towel, a band, a strap, you've got your chair, blocks or stacks of books or push-up bars, something to give you height. Grabbing all those things, maybe your eye pillow for when we get to final relaxation, your mat, finding yourself, and maybe you're not using a chair today. Maybe you are on the floor or maybe you're up against a wall. So again, doing what is going to make your practice successful for you today, this present day, right now. Every day is different. Remembering that, listening to our bodies, going with where our bodies are letting us go. Sometimes it takes us far, and sometimes it's like, did I just do something? Yes. All right, so finding ourselves in our chairs. So we are seated at the center of our chair and towards the front. If you are getting over an illness, if you're getting over an injury, or if you have an injury, or if you've got a chronic injury thing with your back or anything like that, and you need the support of the chair, then use it. Use it the whole time. You can be supported against the back of the chair. Otherwise, take yourself to the center or the front center of your chair to begin to engage our core as we begin to warm up our bodies, bring ourselves into this present moment, sitting ourselves up tall, imagining that you can see your spine and you are stacking those vertebrae. So stacking them really tall, one on top of the other. Maybe you're snaking your torso a little bit, or you can be moving your feet a little bit, but lengthening up through that. Tailbone is pointed down towards the seat of the chair. Crown of the head and that neck lifted towards the ceiling. So really tall spine right here. And engaged core right there. Let's go ahead and roll our shoulders back. Let's go ahead and roll that and roll. Nice big shoulder roll. And you can involve those arms as much as you want. You can make those arms as big of movements as feels good for you. Actually, that feels good today, making the big movements. Or it can be small. It could be just the regular shoulder circles, whatever feels best for you. Maybe today is your drama day. Maybe you're like, today I need to be dramatic. Today everything needs to be over the top. Then do it, go for it. Again, listen to your body, but also listen to your mind. Because maybe you need to get a little excess energy out. Let's roll that the other way. Or maybe there's extra drama in your life and you're like, how do I burn out this extra drama? Burn it out in class. Be dramatic yourself. You can do whatever you need to do in this practice. Good. Let's shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. And then, release that down. As we have released that down, so we're imagining with that release that our hands weighing about 100 pounds each. So that's 200 extra pounds. Drop our chin to chest. So really heavy, 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 heavy arms. And then dropping that chin to chest, and maybe you'll get that really good release in the back of the neck, all the way down the spine. I'm feeling it halfway down my back today. Sometimes I feel it all the way down, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just feel it in my neck. Today, it's about halfway down my spine today, because I'm really focusing on heavy arms by my side, almost to where they're so heavy that they're cement and they're stiff. So they're just falling down. Let's lift that head back to center and take our eyes up to the ceiling. Good, very nice. And bring that neutral, and we can release those arms. You can shake that out, because we're going to do that again with those heavy arms. Let's go ahead and roll those shoulders, roll them back. Or you can take those arm circles, big arm circles, and then roll that the other way, big arm circles the other way. That feels good too. It's almost swimming season. That's what that reminded me of. I was like, and maybe for some people it is already swimming season. Let's go ahead and shrug the shoulders up towards the ears. Shrug that, shrug that, shrug that. All right, get ready. Really heavy arms. Release that down. 200 pounds right there. Drop our chin down to that chest again. That was heavier this time. Maybe probably because it's a little warmer, a a little easier to release that down. And I feel it even further down. I feel it actually in my shoulder blades that time. Lift that head to center and take our eyes to sky. Where are you feeling it at? That is part of this warm up too, is tapping into that body awareness. Where are you feeling it? Good, bring that head to center. Let's look to the right and look to the left. And maybe other things are burning. That's a thing too. Go ahead and look to the right again and look to the left. I'll tell you, my right shoulder is burning. Good, bring this back to center. Drop that chin to chest. And take those eyes to sky. That feels really good for that neck. Let's do that one more time. Chin to chest with those very heavy arms by our side. And then eyes to sky. So good. And then release that. We can release those arms now. Cool. Go ahead and let's give ourselves a nice big hug right over left. So right arm over left, big hug. Reach our fingers back for our spine. Good. And you can be churning that neck. You can be looking to the right, looking to the left. Open this up and left over right. Big hug. Look to the left. Look to the right. I like that mobility right there. Very good. Open that up. Press those arms down. Good. Roll that out and roll that forward. Big sun breath here. Let's take this. Inhale and sweep this up. Big sun breath. And exhale this out. Again, inhale and sweep this up. On our exhale, let's drop our right hand to our right side. Let's reach this over. So we'll get our first little lean here before we go into some spinal twisting. Oh, that lean feels good. Let's breathe it here. Inhale and exhale. Woo. Inhale and sweep this up. And let's drop our left hand down to the left side of the seat of the chair. And maybe you've got one side that is more tender or sensitive or sore or tighter than the other. Super duper duper normal. It would almost be abnormal if you didn't have, like, if one side wasn't harder than the other. Breathe it here. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and sweep this up. As we exhale, let's either hold on to the back of the seat of the chair or clasp the hands behind you to open up our chest. Opening up those shoulder joints, opening up the chest capsule, shoulder capsule. Yeah, let's look to the left, look to the right. Head to center, drop our chin to chest, and take our eyes to the sky. And head to neutral. Oh, shake that out. Give ourselves a hug again. Right over left, hug that. So we do an opposing stretch. And then left over right, hug that. Good. And then back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Let's do one more chest opener. So let's go ahead and take those hands behind us or clasp them behind us, either holding onto the chair or clasping behind. Opening that up again. Look to the right and look to the left. Head to center. Drop our chin to chest. And take our eyes to sky. Lots of head and neck rotation, mobility. Super duper good. Bring this back to center. Oh, open that up. And maybe you've got a little arch in your back right here, because we're going to do some seated cat and cow in just a moment. But that little arch is good to start off with. Let's release that, shake that out. Inhale and sweep this up. Now really reach up through our fingers. So we've got those lights shooting through our fingertips. Reach up super tall, or it's that roller coaster arms. Lengthen up through that. Let's walk our legs over to the right. Take our hands to the top of the back of the seat of our chair. And my favorite, spinal twist, using those arms to leverage that twist. So you can twist as deep into this as feels good for you. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And again, big deep inhale. And a big exhale. Reach back up through those fingers. shooting the light through those fingertips. And let's walk those legs back to center and then go ahead and walk those legs over to the left. Hands go to back the seat of the chair and twist that. Use that leverage right there to twist as deep as you can into that. Maybe you're going comfortably uncomfortable today. You don't want to go to the point of pain, but comfortably uncomfortable, it's where we kind of like to sit here. Let's breathe it and exhale it out. And inhale it and exhale it out. Really good. Reach back up through those fingers. Let's walk this back to center. Opening our arms up, palms facing down. And actually, let's take our palms facing up. Make some fists. Roll our knuckles in towards our wrist. Oh my goodness, that hand and that forearm stretch right there. And then take this into an exaggerated bicep curl. So maybe your thumbs are right there on your shoulders, maybe not, again, depending on your mobility or flexibility, where your body can go. Seated cat and cow, let's go ahead and open this up, arching that back, and then we're gonna go ahead and round this. Let's add that breath. Inhale and open. Exhale and round. 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 Bring that back to neutral, spine to neutral. Lengthen up through that torso. Open up through those arms. Palms are facing down, and we can release that down. Roll that out, or be the drama theme today. Big arm circles here. Good. Drop our chin to chest. Oh, that feels good. Take our eyes to sky. And we have got our seated sun salutation. So grabbing what we need for that, if you're using blocks for support or for height, grabbing that. If you need a pillow between your belly and thighs, grabbing that as well, especially if you've got some low back issues. So just using all the things you need to use for our seated sun salutations. Let's inhale and sweep this up. And let's exhale, dive it down and over. Seated, forward, fold. Relax that. Maybe you're looking at the floor. Maybe you're looking just at your knees. Maybe you're looking at almost maybe the seat of your chair or the feet of your chair. Or maybe you're just looking at your own feet. Put those hands on those blocks or on the floor or on your feet or on your shins. Let's inhale, lengthen through our arms, lengthen through our spine, and then exhale, release. Good. Inhale, sweep this up nice and big. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Let's hold this lengthening here. Press our right hand into that block or into the floor or into your shin, wherever you've got that hand placed. And let's open up left side. Ooh, that feels good on that low back. Maybe your arm isn't able to open. You can have your hand on your waist, near your lowest rib. You can have that right there like that as well, if your shoulder is not having it today. But just remember, whatever you do on this side, you want to do the same thing on the other side. Just breathing and opening. So good in this spinal twist. And then release this back into that forward fold. Very nice. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. So good. Inhale and sweep those arms up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Hold this here. Let's take that right hand or left hand, place that left hand into block. Open up through the right side and breathe it here. Again, if you have that hand on your waist or your lowest rib on the other side, then go ahead and do that on this side as well. Breathe it here. Inhale and exhale. And maybe you do have one side that's tighter than the other to where it's almost super hard to breathe. Very normal. That means breathe deeper, breathe bigger. Good. Go ahead and release that and relax. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Hold this lengthening. Let's press our right hand into that block. Is it gonna be one of those right-left days today? Open this up. Oh, that feels good on this side. And breathe it here. Inhale and exhale. Again, big deep inhale and exhale. Very nice. Release that. Relax. Oh. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Let's press our left hand into block. Let's open up that right side. Very good. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Ooh, feels better on this side than the first time around. That second time always feels a little bit better. Maybe, maybe not. Again, listening to your body. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And then release that. Good. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. Maybe our eyes are following our fingers. Let's inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive this down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. Again, eyes follow those fingers. Let's try and keep them on those fingers the whole time. Let's inhale and lift this up. Eyes following. Exhale, dive it down and over. Good. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale our hands to heart. Eyes follow our fingers. Take our chin to chest. And now we can take those eyes away from our fingers as we just lift that head up to neutral. Bringing our hands or keeping our hands right at our chest. Lifting ourselves up tall. So lengthening up through our spine again. Trying to get ourselves tall here because it can be easy to start to round over. So try and sit that up tall because we're going to go into that hinge with the twist. So sitting ourselves up tall. Let's add that breath. Inhale it deeply. As we exhale, let's hinge this here at the hips and twist that over. Right elbow or right tricep, trying to get over towards that left thigh. Again, that's the goal. That's not, if you can't do it, that's okay. That's just kind of the bullseye where what we're trying for so that you get a really deep spinal twist, because that is what we're doing, is a deep spinal twist here. Breathe it, inhale. And exhale. Oh, back rib cage, I feel that. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep this up. Bring our hands to prayer. Exhale those hands back to heart. Sit ourselves up tall. Inhale it deeply. As we exhale, let's hinge and twist to the other side. Oh, and maybe you've got one side that's harder than the other. Again, super duper normal. Breathing it here. Inhale it deep. And exhale it out. And big deep inhale. And exhale it out. Woo. Wow. Bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep it up. And let's release our arms to our sides. Good. Roll our shoulders back or big arm circles. And roll that forward or big arm circles forward. Again, drama all the way today. Good. We can move those blocks off to the side. We've got legs. So again, we're trying to stay away from the back of the chair unless you've got an injury, an illness, that sort of thing. Then you can keep using the chair as much as you need to. Or if this next part, if you're finding that your hip flexors or glutes are too tight for this, then you can take yourself onto the floor and do all of these movements on the floor or up against the wall. All right, so bringing ourselves into our staff pose. So you can be doing single leg staff pose, you could be doing double leg staff pose, or like I said, you can be on the floor with this staff pose, but sitting ourselves up tall. Let's lengthen through our arms, lengthen through our legs, and let's breathe it here. Inhaling it deeply and exhale it out. Not gonna lie, this one is hard today. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And one more time, big deep inhale and exhale it out. Very good. Release our arms down, and we're gonna go hamstring curl, leg extension. So we're going into our strengthening for our hamstrings, strengthening for our quadriceps. So flexing through those feet, curling that in, and then extension. We're gonna count it down now. Curl this in and extend. There's 8. Curl this in and extend. There's 7. Curl this in and extend. There's 6. Curl this in and extend. There's 5. Curl this in and extend. There's 4. Curl this in and extend. There's 3. Curl this in and extend. There's 2. Curl this in and extend. Hold this extension. Good. Point those toes. Flex the feet. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Point the toes and flex the feet. Let's release our left leg, scoot ourselves forward, lift our right leg up. Now, I was just thinking that curl and that extension, if you are on the floor, you're probably not able to do that. You could do that if you were standing up with your hand against a wall, and you could do a single leg. So there's an option for you in that, but if you were just down on the ground, you weren't doing that curl and that extension, and that's okay. You just had a break. That's good. But now we're going into a single leg boat. So no matter where you're at, we are leaning this back. Our right leg is lifted and we're holding this here. Nice deep breath. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And big deep inhale and exhale it out. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and take our ankle to our thigh. Right there for our piriformis stretch, our figure 4 stretch. First stretch like this of our practice today. And you're either on the floor or on the chair, however this is working for you. And just waking this up, opening this up. We're gonna scoot ourselves back to the back of the seat of our chair. So now we get to use the back of the chair, and we're going to add in our breath and our hinging forward. Or if you're on the floor, then you're scooting up against a wall. You don't have to, but that is an option if you need support for your back. Let's inhale it deeply here. As we exhale, we hinge this forward. Inhale it up tall, and exhale, hinge. And inhale it up tall, and exhale, hinge. And inhale it up tall, and exhale, hinge. Wonderful. Good. Bring this back to a nice neutral spine. Let's take this into a half shoelace. So we're taking our leg over our other leg. So let's go ahead and take that right leg over our left leg. Right heel is to the corner, the left corner of that chair. Let's go ahead and wrap our arm around and reach. Or you can be holding onto that shin, or you can be holding on underneath that thigh. We just don't want any pressure on that knee joint. So just twisting this and breathing this right here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And again, inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Good, let's twist it the other way. And maybe you're finding that you're very stiff today, or that your twists are harder than normal, or you're like, what's going on? A lot of things are going on. You may have had a difficult weekend. You may have had like an emotional weekend. You may have had, or a day yesterday, different day. Maybe you ate something different. Maybe you went somewhere different. Maybe you did a lot of driving, or maybe you did a lot of other things, or gardening. Maybe you did a lot of things that were out of the norm. And you're like, what is going on? Those are the things that's what's going on. That's why things can be more difficult, or you're like, it feels like I've never worked out in my life. That's how our bodies, they're always going to homeostasis. They're always trying to get back to a neutral place. Good, bring ourselves back to center. Give that a nice big hug, and then release that. Our body's always trying to rebuild, always trying to bring it into a place of neutrality to keep everything safe. All right, bring ourselves back to the center. And we are going to go back into that leg extension, leg curl. And like I said, if you're on the floor and you want to do that curl and that extension, then you can come to the wall. You can do an extension and a curl standing like this. So otherwise, then you get to take a break with just stretching through your legs. All right, so sitting ourselves up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and take, you've got either one of those legs or both of those legs, and we're taking ourselves back into our staff pose. Very strong here, 3 breaths. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Big deep inhale and exhale it out. One more time, big deep inhale and exhale it out. Whew, like I said, not gonna lie, that is challenging today. Release that down. Hamstring curl, leg extension, or if you're standing, one leg extension, one leg curl. All right, curling this in and extend. We're going to count it down here. Curl this in and extend. There's 8. Curl this in and extend. There's 7. Curl this in and extend. There's 6. Curl this in and extend. There's 5. Curl this in and extend. There's 4. Curl this in and extend. There's 3. Curl this in and extend. There's 2. Curl this in and hold this extension. Good. Go ahead and point the toes, flex the feet. 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 Point the toes, and flex the feet. Good. We're going to release our right leg. Scoot ourselves forward. Take ourselves into that single leg boat. Breathe it here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Inhale it deeply and exhale it out. So good. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take that leg right there. Hip flexor, piriformis, figure 4 stretch. This side. Maybe you get a little bit nauseous. I get a little bit nauseous. Woo. Or maybe it feels really good for you today. That's very good. We hold so much stress and tension in our hips, in our low back, in our necks, our shoulders. There's lots of place to hide. So scooting ourselves back to the back of the seat of the chair. Sit ourselves up tall. Let's add that breath and that movement. Let's inhale it deeply here. And exhale, hinge. Inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. And inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. And inhale it up tall. And exhale, hinge. Very good. All right, let's bring this back to neutral. Let's go ahead and cross this over. So now our left is crossed over our right leg. Left heel is in the right corner of the chair, seat of the chair. And let's go ahead and rock that and twist that. Breathe in here. Inhale. And exhale it out. Good, big deep inhale. And a big exhale. Wonderful. Switch that. Twist that the other way. Big deep inhale. And exhale it out. So good. Very nice. And bring this back to center. Give that a big hug. Very good. All right. Bringing ourselves over to the side of our, over to the left side of our chair. We're going to give our right leg this whole seat of the chair. And we're gonna take our left leg off to the side. So we've got that right leg up, left leg off to the side. Your foot can be neutral, so the toe is facing forward or inward or outward, just however it feels best for your ankle. But try and work on both sides being the same, unless you have an injury where it does not allow you to do that, where your ankle flexion and mobility is different in both ankles because of an injury. So again, listening to your body, doing what your body will let you do. Let's lengthen up through the center here, reaching up through that, reaching up through our fingers, through our arms, through that torso. Let's go ahead and drop that right hand down. And ooh, that feels good. Lengthen through this, reach this over and breathe. So good. From our fingertips all the way down to the very edge, whatever's furthest from you. I think my heel may be furthest from me today because I've got my toes slightly inwards. Good. Oh, so good. Breathing this. Nice deep breath. And then let's go ahead and windmill that arm. And you want that hand to be resting either on your thigh, on your hamstring, but we don't want it on that knee joint. And we are reaching over the good. And breathe this here. This is a good stretch. But yes, I feel a little like the Tin Man today on the tight side of my body. Oh, creak, creak. Breathe it. And that breath is what's going to help open it and smooth everything out. Good. Let's release that. And we're going to turn this into supported pigeon. So our front leg is supported, back leg is lengthened, and we keep our back leg active. Keep our heel lifted. Reach up through our arms, lengthening up through that as well. Low back. A little bit of an arch right here. And let's take this into a forward fold. So your first forward fold is on those hands. Second, maybe down onto the elbows. Next modification, all the way down or using a block for support. But just enjoying this fold, this hip stretch, enjoying, or maybe it's not enjoyable, but telling yourself this is good for you. This is one of your multivitamins right here. Breathing, inhale and exhale. So good. Very nice. Bring this back up. Reach back up through that. Good. Reach and lift and lengthen. Very nice. And then let's release this. Good. Let's take this into our warriors. So we'll fix our legs. So we've got our nice warrior 2 legs. We've got this back leg still nice and long. We've got our front knee bent. And you can be doing this with the chair support, or you can do it regular without the chair. You can be going right into your warrior 2 legs without that chair. So let's lengthen here through our arms, strong arms. Strong legs, strong feet, strong legs, strong glutes, strong torso, strong pelvis, strong rib cage, strong chest, strong arms, strong neck. Face is relaxed. This is your warrior 2. We're breathing it here. Let's drop that back arm, take our palm up, and lean into this peaceful warrior. Breathe it here. Inhale and exhale it out. And then let's go ahead and shift this into our side angle pose. That other arm, left arm comes right by that temple, bicep by the ear maybe, lengthening through that as well. Breathe it. Good, and then bring ourselves back up into that proud warrior. We're gonna go through these again one more time. Drop our back arm, take our palm up, peaceful warrior, reach through that. Very good. Oh, that feels good. And then let's take this down, side angle, reaching over, other way, breathe it here. And bring this up and reach back into that proud warrior, and then release that. Very nice, good. All right, let's take it over to the other side. So we're bringing our left leg up onto the seat of the chair, taking our right leg off to the side. And I already know that I am dehydrated, that I haven't hydrated myself as much as I should or need to. This side, I know it's gonna cramp. It's always this side when I'm not hydrated. So again, body awareness, recognizing, reaching up through that, and knowing that when I get done with the practice today, I'm going to go drink a lot of water to help replenish, lengthen up through that. And you too, remember, I know we're not like sweating a bunch, or maybe you are, but it's always good to be very mindful of drinking some water after our practice, because it helps flush the toxins and it helps move things through. Good, let's go ahead and drop that left hand down and lengthen this over, reaching through that. So from our fingertips all the way down, oh, I have to remember what I was doing on the other side. Okay, all the way down to the farthest point on this side. So the farthest point on the other side was my heel. So I'm consciously making sure that I'm doing the same thing on this side, because it's available to me. If I were to have an injury or scar tissue that would not allow me to move like that, then I'm gonna do what I can do. Good, let's go ahead and windmill this and reach this over. Lengthen and breathe. And then release that. Go ahead and turn this into that supported pigeon. Feels good today, the supported pigeon. It feels really good today. Keeping our back leg nice and active. Let's reach up through those arms, lengthening up through that. Breathe. And we've got that forward fold. So either on the hands, on the elbows, or all the way forward. Whatever you did on the other side, try and do that same thing over here on this side. So we have that equal flexibility, equal balance, equal strength. Breathing this here. Also remembering to keep that back leg active. I tell you these things because I'm reminding myself of them, because I was gonna let my leg go. Lengthen through that, keep that leg active, breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Woo, so good. Very nice. Let's lift this back up center, reach back up through that. And we're gonna go into our warriors on this other side. So let's take our left leg. It's gonna be bent. It's gonna stay straight. So we find our warrior 2 legs on this other side. Strong legs, strong feet, strong legs, strong glutes, strong torso, strong arms out into warrior 2, strong chest, strong neck, face relaxed, and breathe. So nice, strong, proud warrior here. Let's drop that back arm, take our palm up, peaceful warrior. Breathe it here, inhale it deeply, and exhale it out. Big deep inhale, and exhale it out. From here, we're going to take this into side angle. So let's move this over, nice side angle, arm right by the temple, or that bicep is right by that temple. Good, breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And bring this back up, proud warrior, very strong. Once again, strong feet, strong legs, strong glutes, strong torso, strong pelvis, strong rib cage, strong chest, strong arms, strong neck, face is relaxed. Let's drop that back arm again, palm facing up again, and peaceful warrior, breathe. And then take this into side angle, lengthen over and breathe. And bring this back up, reach very nice and strong, and then release that. Good. Keep our legs wide. Use your blocks. If you've got them right there, let's go ahead and take that left hand right to that block. Let's open this up. Oh yeah, very good. Breathe it here. Inhale and exhale it out. Good. Bring this to center. Big inhale up. And exhale it out. Let's take our left hand down. Reach our right arm open. Ooh, feels good. Feels good. Breathe it here. Inhale. And exhale it out. And then release that. Good. We can bring those legs together. Place those blocks for where you want them because we're going to go into our standing forward fold now. But starting with our seated forward fold. So let's inhale and sweep our arms up. Let's exhale, dive this down and over. Seated forward fold. Let's go ahead and plant our feet into the floor and lift our glutes up off of the chair. You can use those blocks for as much support as you need. Let's lift our glutes, lengthen through those legs, standing forward fold. Very good. Oh, that feels good on the backs of the legs. Let's inhale, flat back, look forward, tabletop. Exhale and release. Take a seat back in the chair. Inhale and sweep those arms up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Lift our glutes up off the chair. Standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Take a seat in that chair. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Lift our glutes up off the chair. Standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Tabletop. Exhale and release. Take a seat back in the chair. Inhale and sweep this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Lift our glutes up off the chair. Standing forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Keep ourselves here. Inhale, sweep our arms up nice and big. Mountain pose, tall mountain. And then cactus our arms back. Good. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale, cactus our arms back. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale, cactus those arms back. Good. Inhale and lift this up. And then let's release our arms down to our sides. Very nice. All right. So taking our chair, you can use a block here up on that chair if you want. You don't have to, or using whatever you need again for support. Let's go ahead and keep our left leg as our rooted leg, and let's bring our right leg up onto the seat of the chair. And we're just going to hinge into this. Oh, wow. So we're getting a little bit more hip stretch here, hinging into this and trying to keep our left heel pressed into the floor so that we get a left leg stretch as well. So we get a good calf stretch in the left side and we get that good hip stretch in the right side. If you're able to bring your foot to the outside of the seat of your chair and bring your shoulder towards the inside. So maybe you can fold yourself forward so that your shoulder is maybe on the inside of that knee, or just being like this without having to even go forward, you're still getting that extra outside hip stretch right here. So we're just breathing, just stretching through this, just holding this right here, or you're bringing it down a little bit further. So just depending on the mobility that you've got or what you're working towards. Comfortably uncomfortable, but not pain. Let's go ahead and shift our weight back, press through that heel, and we're going to stretch through our hamstring and our calf on that right leg. Very good. Breathing that here. And then let's bring this back up, bending that knee, hinging this forward, back into that hip stretch, or up here in that hip stretch. So again, wherever your hips are letting you go. Goodness. And we're gonna do that hamstring stretch one more time. And of course, that back leg, our left leg, we're trying to keep our heels down. Good, let's bring this up, shift that weight, and back. Hamstring stretch. Very good. Good, and bring this up. Let's release our leg. Walk yourself a little bit closer to the seat of the chair. Bring our hands onto the seat of the chair, and you can hold that seat of the chair. We're staying with that left leg being our support, and we're gonna lift our right leg up. So we lift our right leg up into a supported warrior 3. So we've got a little bit of a balance here, a little bit more stretch in that standing leg. And if your glute starts to burn, very normal. If your hamstring starts to burn, lots of burning, just holding this isometric hold right here. Maybe rotating that ankle if that feels okay for you. Good, release that. And then you can relax this right here. Oh yeah, goodness. All right, roll this up one vertebrae at a time, roll our shoulders back. Now our right leg is gonna be our supported standing leg. We're gonna keep our heel pressed down. We're gonna bring our left leg up onto the seat of the chair. And same thing, maybe you wanna bring that left foot all the way to the outside of your chair, at the very edge of your chair. Oh goodness, so you can get that hip stretch. And again, maybe one side is tighter than the other. Or maybe it's just tight because we're going right into that. Oh yeah. And maybe you're able to move down a little bit, or maybe you're staying up here. Again, if you can get that shoulder or that arm away, that hip going out, good. And breathing that here. And then we're gonna bring ourselves up and shift our weight back. Hamstring calf stretch. Very good. Stretching through that and breathing. Good, bring this up one more time. Take this forward and get that hip right there. Breathe that. And remembering that our right heel is staying down on the floor. Yes, yes, yes. And then take that back. Stretch that. So good. And then let's go ahead and bring that up. Good. Walk our feet close to that chair. Hands are on the seat of the chair. And we've still got that right leg as our supported leg. And let's lift our left leg up. So we've got this modified warrior 3. This isometric hold, holding this leg lifted up. Yes, and that straight leg, maybe burning a little bit behind the knee, maybe in the hamstring, and then starts to engage in the glutes on the other side. Maybe your back a little bit. This is a very strong move, strengthening move, and holding this isometrically like this. Really good, but using that breath. Good, and then release that leg. Oh, and then relax this into just a nice forward fold right here. And roll that up one vertebrae at a time. Roll our shoulders back. We're going to take ourselves down onto our backs. And we're going to go into our modified shoulder stand for our inversion. If that is not available to you to use with the chair, you can scoot your glutes up against the wall and have your legs up against a wall. So you can at least get the inversion no matter what. You can get the head or the legs above the heart, legs above the head. So we're going to take ourselves down onto the floor, grabbing whatever you need for this, and then grabbing whatever you need for final relaxation when we get there. So taking ourselves down, scooting ourselves close to either your chair or the wall. Bringing our legs up onto that chair. And since this is a supported shoulder stand, we're gonna use our support of the block, or if you've got stiff pillows, you can be having pillows underneath you. But let's go ahead and take that underneath the sacrum, right underneath that low back. Oh, and just that pressure point right there, having something pressure against the low back, that feels super duper good. All right, so bringing those legs up, lifting that up. And let's have our palms facing up, shoulders rotated open. And we can find some stillness here, or you could be pointing and flexing the feet, you could be rotating ankles, you could be working on some flexibility, taking those legs off to the side, but just enjoying this inversion. The head or the legs, when you say the head, the legs above the head. It's that circulation change. Super good for the heart. Super good for the body. Just breathing. And flexing. Relaxing that face. Breathing this here. Just enjoying this. And you can have those legs flexed, or you can be bending at the knees, or you can even like cross your legs above you or have your knees super bent. Whatever feels the best for you with having, with this circulation change and with having these legs up. Or you could be moving multiple times, or you could be even going into like a plow where your legs are coming over towards the floor. But just enjoy this, just breathe through this. And let's go ahead and release one leg, release the other leg. Very good. Let's take our right ankle, place it onto our left thigh, and let's go ahead and press that inner right thigh away with that. Right. Release that. Good. Let's take it to the other side. So left ankle onto that thigh, press that away. And release that. Good. If you've got something underneath your low back, you could go ahead and move that. To move that chair off to the side, grabbing whatever you need for final relaxation, because that's where we are going. Let's lengthen our legs towards one end of the room, reach through our arms, through our fingers towards the other end. If you've got an eye pillow or regular pillow or blankets, just make yourself comfy. Just support yourself. Give yourself this treat of this final relaxation. And then again, lengthening through that. So adding a few inches to your height here. Where are you imagining somebody's pulling at your wrists and somebody else is pulling at your ankles? Really reaching through that. Take a big deep inhale. And with an exhale, allow yourself to sink, to settle. Let those feet just naturally fall open. And enjoying the next few moments. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Let your eyeballs fall back to the back of your skull. Heavy eyebrows, forehead. Relax, breathe. Still relaxing, let's bend our knees. And tuck that tailbone under. Drop both of those knees over to your most comfortable side. Take yourself onto your side, a breath or two here. And ourselves up. Bring ourselves up into a supported seated pose that feels strong for you. And lengthening up through that spine. Let's inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our hands together and exhale, eyes following our fingers. Take our chin to chest. Lift our head center, take our fingers to forehead. As we leave today, let us think thoughts of truth. Take our fingers to our lips. As we leave today, let us speak words of love. Take our hands to our hearts. As we leave today, let our lives be a light of truth and a light of love, having hearts of compassion and mercy, knowing that we have not been given a spirit of fear, but the spirit of love and a sound and peaceful mind. Inhaling it deeply and exhale. And again, big deep inhale and a big cleansing exhale. And thank you for joining me for the practice today. Have a